These 5 make their way to a haunted manor in hopes to exorcise the demons within. Quickly turn around and throw a dagger, and you see a shadowy, dysmorphed figure behind you.
Yeah.
It's like seems like a stretched out humanoid. And when you throw the dagger, it makes a sound, and the dagger seems to pass through.
Okay, I run back inside.
The most logical thing to do.
Whilst journeying through the haunted manor, they find pixies, creepy crawlies, and weird apparitions. But sometimes the hardest battles are within the party themselves.
We have to kill. Do we have to shed blood? Can't we just like knock him out? Dude, the karma. If we go around killing things, we are serial killer. We're not heroes. We're supposed to be the heroes of our own story.
We've already killed.
Brother, you don't understand. This isn't some fairy tale town.
We've already killed bandits at the start of the game. What's the difference, bro? What is
the difference? Is because we were self-defending. This is an harmless sleeping person.
No.
And other times, the hardest battles are with Lady Luck.
Fucker than that one. Firstly.
Are you kidding me? What the hell? You can't be that bad. You cannot be that bad. You got 2 nat 1s in a row, dude. Wait, it's more like doofus, man. What the hell? After exercising the haunted manor, which is now Ressa's place of residence, the party was given another task: to go out to sea and destroy the rest of the smugglers. After taking over the ship, one of the prisoners delivered some vital information. Information about lizard folk rising. The council member got information that the lizard men, or the lizard folk, have been planning an attack on Saltmarsh. He says there is a breeding ground that they have been growing in numbers, waiting to attack. And I worry that it might be too late. After venturing into the swamps of Saltmarsh, the party faced many a challenge. There were many treasures hidden within the swamps. Some were too tasty to let go, such as the giant frog eggs that Rufus ate.
Okay.
You feel really sick. You think you might need... You start to like burn up, basically, in a fever.
Oh shit.
And you feel like you might need to rest.
Okay.
Rest soon.
I'm gonna turn into a frog, guys. I'm croaking for real.
Rufus, it's hard for you to talk at the moment. Every time you open your mouth, a croak comes out. The people of the swamp are strange indeed. In fact, one of the witches of the swamp wanted the party to retrieve a stick, a magic stick, which would restore her power.
This branch she would like us to take, okay?
Yo,
So she points at the trees.
Between some 2 legs.
Between his fucking 2 legs.
It's a magic branch. If I have it, then I'll be able to do magic. The tree wants it, but the tree never uses it.
Damn, it's not getting laid.
Yeah, I wonder why, bro.
After massacring the lizard folk and destroying their base, the party decided to make amends with them, as they realized that the lizard folk were not the true enemies. The lizard folk were preparing for a war with the Sahagin, the enemy of all of the sea. And so the party decided to kill one of the enemies of the lizard folk, a giant crocodile. You see this, but underwater. Starts racing towards you. Unfortunately, you tug on the rope quickly, and Noma seems to get the hammer and pulls you straight out. And as you are pulled out, a ginormous crocodile leaps out and tries to eat you as well, but misses due to Nomus's deft hands.
How many minutes has been since I'm praying? Roughly?
About 10.
I don't think your prayer is working, man.
Unfortunately, Nomus fell to this crocodile. The party was surrounded by constrictor snakes, and Nomus was eaten by one. After the giant crocodile was slain, the party returned to the lizard folk lair, and the witch friend was able to restore Nomus to a similar state that he was before. And now here we are. The party has returned to Saltmarsh, but more trouble is brewing. Tori has been caught by the guards, stealing one of the black pearls worth hundreds, if not thousands, of gold. Tori was taken to a maximum security prison, and now the party is tasked with a prison break, with the help of Ida Olin, one of the candidates running for mayor in Saltmarsh. Ida has promised to help them free Tori and break her out of prison, if in return they will venture out into sea and return her husband. Who knows what's happened next in the session, as Nomus is resting. No more has taken his place. Will the party get along? Will the party overcome the challenges? We'll have to see. A few hours has passed. The party has just been relaxing in one of Ida's houses that she bought out in this region. And Ida's the escort for you, this mission, Ida's escort, she has come. She has arrived. So this is one of Ida's most trusted guards. But Ida said that she's a very loyal guard, but she only has one downside. She described this guard as a elven woman, and she said that her only downside, or half-elf woman, and she said her only downside is that she can't speak.
Mute. Okay.
She's mute. She is mute. Her name is Silence, a fitting name for a mute person.
Wait, her name like as in silence, as in nothing, or we call her Silence?
As in nothing.
Okay.
So when you call her, you have to say hello and then nothing.
Okay. Interactive. I love this.
Varessa walks over to her and asks Bims to talk to her for him, because Bims he can't speak, but he can communicate. What do you call it? Telepathically, whatever.
Right.
I believe that's the case, right?
Yeah, I think you can do telepathic communication. The only problem is Bims tells you that she can't communicate back telepathically. So...
Okay.
Yeah.
She can nod and stuff, right?
She can nod and stuff, yeah. So he knows a few gestures. She waves over to the party as she arrives.
Let me have a look. Actually, I think Bims can only understand. Let me read.
She gestures to the 4 horses that she's tied up, and it seems to be that she's saying, "These are the horses that you can choose from."
Okay.
Can I give you a code name so we can refer to you?
Bims can't communicate telepathically, but he can understand common and draconic. Right.
Okay. That's good.
He's basically the same as her. Actually, he can't speak, but he can.
Yeah.
He can understand when I talk to him.
So Ida's guard does a gesture to you, Rufus. She does a thumbs up.
Alright. Alright, we gotta refer you as something, so...
And then she begins to point at the moon. And then she taps her wrist.
Marissa knows sign language, so she knows the common sign language, so she attempts to use it to see if the woman understands sign language.
I should be able to as well if it's sign language.
Yeah, I believe Varessa knows.
Is it?
You begin to use the common sign language, and she begins to respond in a sign language, but you cannot understand what she's saying.
Moon.
It seems that she knows a different sign language from a different region. Kind of like how you have Auslan and the one in the US.
ASL.
Yeah, that one. ASL.
Okay, so we have you point at the moon and your wrist.
Yeah. She gets off her horse and she begins to start drinking from her flask.
Moon, wrist, and drinking. Moonshine. Is that? Would you like to be called Moonshine?
She shakes her head, and then she stops for a moment, and then she just shrugs.
You know, we'll just call you Sky, since you point at the sky.
Wouldn't make sense to call her Moon because she pointed at the moon.
Maybe she was pointing at something else,
No
a
more.
different angle.
No more. Frog just starts hopping around.
Alright, Moon. It's just Moon, right? Agreeing we're Moon. You're...
Wait, her name must be Moon Anna.
Moana. Moana.
It's better than Moon.
Alright, so Moon.
Moon. Yeah, she nods.
Alright, perfect.
I'm assuming when
she
you're
walks
referring
over
to the wrist, right?
Varessa, and she hands you a note, Varessa.
Alright.
Of something
My
she
name
scribbled
is
on.
Annabelle. Some shit like that.
Varessa opens the note to read it then.
The note says, I have been able to get access for one of your party members into the prison with this false document of basically transferring one of you guys to the prison. So she says one of you will have to volunteer to become a prisoner to help with the escape.
That's me, Moon.
Yeah. And she says, she taps at your hands, and then she brings out a rope.
I obediently just put my hands up.
Who let this guy? Who let this guy in? The fuck? Hello?
She turns you around and then she begins to tie your wrists together.
Oh, nice.
Varessa takes his stuff first so he doesn't get confiscated at the prison.
Yeah. Oh, she puts you on the horse first before she does this, because then it would be kind of hard for you to.
Yeah. You're right. Untie me, and I'll back in the horse.
And Varessa, because you have the thieves' gloves, right? So I help you put some lockpicks inside and a dagger inside one of the other one.
Okay.
Because they are invisible when you wear them, but you should be able to slide at least some little things in between it, so to hide them, I think.
For all intents and purposes, I'm not going to change any of my stuff in D&D Beyond. I'm just going to run with the fact that I have nothing.
Just think naked in your head 24/7.
Yeah,
you'll be
I'm going
fine.
to turn off my armor as well, actually. I might do that.
I just think you have 10 AC now, that's probably all you need to think, or whatever it
It was
is.
13, so I don't know what's bringing it up. You know what? Yeah, I'll just go with that. I have like five or so lockpicks and a dagger.
And they're invisible because they're hidden inside your gloves. And then I guess we'll set off then.
Okay.
All right. Ida's guard, or Ida's their escort, basically, goes back onto her horse, and she gestures for you guys to follow.
Let's go, Moon.
Let's go. All right.
Varessa says, double check, what kind of escort is she? to Rufus, because he looks confused.
Do you say this out loud, like to her?
Varessa asks Rufus.
Okay.
I thought escort meant this, but she's a strange one. Is there another kind of escort? Is it?
I think so. Don't worry too much about it.
Okay, she's a different kind of escort. Gotcha.
Yeah. Not the one that'll keep you warm at night, kind.
You know what? That doesn't concern me anyway because I'm a priest.
Or whatever. Or if she is, that's Moon's business, you know.
You're right.
I guess we'll set off, but obviously the rest of us won't go near the prison because we don't want to get spotted.
Right.
We'll hide nearby, I guess, somewhere so we can scope the prison. So we can try and probably help them from the outside if necessary.
All good. Now,
Veressa is wearing that bandana over her head and then over her mouth. So like her hair's hidden away and her ears are, and so's her face. Basically all you can see is her eyes, but not clearly.
I see. Are her ears hidden? Out of curiosity.
Yeah. She's tied them underneath the bandana, at least so they're not sticking up.
Okay. Seems good. Alright.
And she's wearing some baggy robes over the top of her usual gear, so you can't really tell.
Gotcha.
Can't see her usual gear either.
Alright. Good stuff. Okay. Alright, if everyone's ready, we'll just head off. Okay. So, the journey takes not too long on horseback. It would have taken you probably 4 hours, but on horse it took you an hour. So,
nice.
Nothing too long. But you guys did have to eat and ration. Just from all the motion that you guys have been doing. Your escort nods, and you arrive to a patch of trees just outside the prison. It is at the dead of night at the moment. And you guys are waiting out here. Silence basically points towards the northwest, towards the front.
Holy shit, there's a massive prison.
And you can see from the light that there are a few guards stationed at the front, and there seems to be, okay, now it should be coming up. There seems to be a lot of horses as well. You can see one horse and a guard on a horse as well. So that seems to be the front of the prison. From the schematics, you know that there's an entrance from the other side as well. And yeah. So your friend points towards you, Rufus. And yes, she says, with her hand, she does an OK or an X. She seems to be asking whether you're ready to go, or if you guys want to discuss stuff.
I turn to my companions. Guys, what they should, if I'm not out by 2 days, sleep without me. I'll bring as many down.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah, and I...
Veressa promises that if he's still in there in 2 days, she'll bust him out the hard way.
Mr. Veressa, I've appreciated how you've taken me under your wing. I will never forget you. No more. And then I turn around. I said, let's go. Give the OK signal.
Alright. So Silence just pulls you from your horse, and she basically pushes you to move forward. And you're basically tied to a rope, and she's pulling you forward.
Do you think the guards will suspect if I looked clean? Or do you need to rough me up a couple times?
You say this to Silence? And
to Moon. Silence, yeah.
To Moon, yeah. And she stops for a moment, and then she pulls something out of her pocket, and it seems to be a flask. And she points at it, and she shows it towards you. You look at it, and the flask says urine.
Okay. Do I pour it over my head?
Dude, what the hell? You piss it into a joke?
I ask silence because I've figured out publish yes or no questions are a lot easier. Do I pour this over my head?
She nods.
Okay.
So she pours it over your head for you. Because your hands are tied. And you smell the smell of piss, basically, drenched on.
This is not yours, is it, Moon?
And she just keeps pushing you forward.
Okay.
And
hey, just saying, some people would pay good money for this kind of thing.
Okay. So as you walk by, you notice that there are a few guards on horses, and they just seem to be eyeing you. They all seem to be eyeing you at the moment. And you make your way to the front of the prison, and the guards say, "What business have you?" And Silence you can't really tell, to be honest, Rufus, but Silence points towards you and pulls a bit on the rope. And the guard says, "Well, speak up. What business have you?"
You'd think someone chained up, someone tied up, smelling like piss. You'd think there'd be a prisoner or something. I guess you're just too dim-witted, eh?
He says, "This one talks too much. I think I'll fix him up real soon. New prisoner, hey? I reckon he'll be dog food in no time."
I reckon your brain has gone through the dog food, eh? Same consistency, eh? Don't think too much. Nothing much going up there. Even my bald head has more brain than going in you.
The other guy says, "Watch your tongue before I cut it off." And the one on the left says that. And then the one on the right says, "I've got just the fix for you." And he pulls out a bolt of cloth, just a hand wad of cloth. And he just shoves it in your mouth and then ties it up just to keep you like a gag. And he says,
give a side eye to Moon with like an OK symbol, like selling it, you know?
Moon and the guard, they converse, quote unquote, for a bit. And as they're conversing, you hear information as the guard is saying that, "Oh, this is one of the most strictest, most secure prisons in the region. Each guard has their own dog, so we're never alone. And on command, a special whistle could be called, and then the dogs know that they can kill all the prisoners," he says. And Moon seems to be nodding her head and smiling. And then she hands over the paperwork to the guard. The guard looks at it, just gives himself a... looks closely at the document, gives it a bit of a sniff, and then he says, "Yep, looks good to me." And then he just crumples it into his back pocket. And then he says, "Well, say hello to the rest of your life. I think I'll call you Baldy, because you're bald," he says.
So creative. Every guard's paired up with a dog, so there's 4 of you.
Moon pats your back and slides something into your back pocket as well. And then she walks away back to the rest of the party.
Alright. It's showtime.
Alright. So, one of the guards begins opening the door and he says, "Oh, what's the combination to this? Up, down, or down, up?" The other one says, "It's just a latch. You just pull it up." He's like, "Oh, but what if I have to push it down?"
Can I roll to spit out the gag?
Sure, you can make an athletics check if you like to spit out the gag.
I got an 11.
An 11. You're able to move the gag a little bit down and get one of your lips above. You think you can make noise.
Between the two of you, which one's the guard, which one's the dog? Because I see 4 dogs here.
The guard stops, and then he turns towards you, and he says, "Alright, since you like to talk so much, how about we send you to a special place for the talkers?" And then he has a big grin.
Is that place have a latch that goes up down or down up?
He says, "Oh, you'll see." And he has a big grin. And he and the other one says, "No, you're supposed to take him there. Only if they've been the most heinous of all murderers are they supposed to go there." And he says, "Well, we already had some big time thief steal something, and she's been directly put into there. So what's this little twit talking? We can throw him in there too." All right, I've decided it. You're going to death row.
Oh yeah, good job, man.
And
just take a loan from the brain bank to think of that.
and he says, "Oh, you won't be laughing so soon." And he ushers you towards a different part of the prison.
All right.
Around the side.
Everything is
happening,
going according to plan.
As this is happening, you hear the dog whimpering as you're getting pushed to the other entrance.
Okay.
All right, and eventually, and then the guard also says, "What's that smell? You smell like piss." "Oh, that's probably why he's whimpering." "Oh, you'll probably smell that for the rest of your life."
Can I do a quick investigation check to see why the dog's whimpering?
Yeah, you can do. Okay, I don't think there's animal. Oh, you can do animal handling.
Okay. I have an 11.
The dog seems to be scared, probably of its master.
I see.
Alright. He begins to open the door. There was just one dog stationed here, strangely. No guard. And he begins to open the door to this area. A dimly lit area. And there's no one inside, it seems. Just a set of stairs.
Alright.
And he pushes you inside. And he goes inside with his dog. And he says, "Alright. Now just walk up those stairs. And get out of my face," he says.
Yes, boss. Was that the dog talking or was that you? Which one do I salute?
Oh, man.
The guard says, "You know what? I think I'll deliver your sentence right here, right now." And he draws out his sword.
Nah, it's alright, mate. And I just start walking out. Keep that thing in your pants, you'll need it for later. I'm going up
And he starts growling at you. He's like, "I'll remember your face."
Yeah, remember my name
I'll
too. Deshaun.
remember.
I guess I just walk.
You just walk up. Okay. You walk up the stairs, and you see 2 guards with their dogs at the front, and 2 other guards at the side with their dogs. And one of them says, "Who?" And the other one says, "Ah." Another one says, "You."
I look at the left. I look at the right. And I turn around. Jason.
The one on the left says, "What? On the right says R. On the left says U. Here. 4.
Same. I look at the dog. As I look at the other dog. You. And I look at like the left door next to me. Right here.
The other 2 guards at the front of the door, they start to chuckle. And the one on the right says, "Oh, you must be one of the new ill-fated prisoners.
You got
You can
me.
call me Shiny. He is my
Shiny.
mate to the left. His name is Bauble. That's what we call each other around here.
So this is Volvo, and
This is Shiny. Yes, we'll be escorting you to a small box where you'll be for the rest of your life. Now,
Alright.
is there anything you'd like to eat? Because it'll be your last meal."
Can I get a pork roast with skin?
The guard on the very left says, "You," and the one on the right says, "Will not."
Well, he said
And-
2 words.
And then the
breaking
guard
your
on the
rule.
left looks at the one on the right, and he gives him a side eye. Dwayne the Rock side eye. And the 2 guards at the front, Bauble, he says, "Yes, this is the starvation prison. Basically, you get one last meal, and then we lock you in here and let you starve to death.
Alright.
So what would you like for your last meal?" "Pork." "What's pork?" "We only have gruel for you. Gruel or slop?"
I'll get both.
You want a sloppy gruel or a gruely slop?
I want a gruely slop. Don't mind if I do.
He's like, "Alright, I'll write that down." And the guard bangs on the metal door behind him, and he says, "New one, water. He wants water." And the door begins to open to another section of the prison. And he says, "Alright, go through. I'll get..." And they do paper, scissors, rock. And then Bauble loses. "Alright, I'll take you through. Come on, tree, follow me. What is your name? Jay. Come here, Jay." "Alright."
Deshaun.
"Alright, Jay."
Don't forget
And the
Deshaun.
2 other guards say, "Oh, we got a character here, do we? Alright. Well, he doesn't look that threatening. Just let him through. You don't have any family, do you?
Well,
Maybe we'll write
no.
some last letters for you." "No."
If I had a family, would they let me live with my bald head around? No. Use your brain, man.
"Oh, alright. Let him through."
Yo,
And,
can you before I go, can you like scratch my head? I can't reach.
who do you say that to? Bauble?
Yeah, to Bolvin, yeah.
Bauble says, "Alright, I'll scratch your head. Where do you want me to scratch your head?"
Like right at the top, and and just go incrementally down.
And then he says, "Alright, well, this is very unusual. I've never had a prisoner ask me to scratch their head." And he scratches your head.
Everything.
He just scratches you down. And he says, "Alright, this is probably the last scratch you'll get. In fact," and he keeps on yapping. He says, "The prisoners, they start scratching themselves to death around here." And he keeps talking about stuff about the prisoners.
While he's talking, am I able to just pickpocket him?
So your hands are tied at the moment. So if you can figure out a clever way to pickpocket with your hands tied. And two guards watching you.
I give him like a slap on like the backside, you know, like a little, like hey, thanks, man, and like, you know, when you like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, man.
You whip around and you give him a slap on the backside, and he begins to walk away, and then you do your deed quickly, as your hands are tied behind your back, and make your roll. Make your sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Okay. My lowest is 25.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
He has the thievery gloves on that are invisible.
Plus I have plus 10 sleight of hand.
Alright. You pick up a single key. You pick up some dog treats. You think they're dried pig trotters.
Okay.
And you also are able to take a small, very small piece of wood.
Okay. Nice.
And that's it.
Perfect.
And you begin to walk into the next section. The next section. And the guards tell you, they say, alright, now it's time for you to meet the warden. He's probably the last person you'll be able to speak to before you go straight to your prison.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Of course.
Alright. And the door opens. And you're pushed further into the room. And you enter the room. It's concrete, tiles. But there seems to be a nice carpet. Nice ornate carpet, an ornate table, and a parrot sitting on the side. There seems to be a feather, kind of like basically one of those pens, those feather quills. And there seems to be pieces of paper and an inkwell. And there is a tall, very tall, muscular orc standing in front of the desk. He's breathing heavily, but you assume that's what orcs do. And he looks at you and he says, well?
Hello, sir. I'm here for my application for the god. And I sit down on his chair.
He says, you're here because of your crimes. I'm here to make sure you never leave.
You're not going to look at my resume?
He says, and we're here to write for forgiveness to the one God. Do you know who the one God is?
Lyra.
I'm like scratching my head like, damn, I should have actually paid attention to what Glaume was saying, man. It was whatever book he was reading. Veen?
He says, you look like an orphan. Am I right?
Who was it? Who was it? Sorry, sir. You moved your mouth, but no words came in.
No words came out. He says, well, a one God, the God of forgiveness. Do you know who that God is?
Jesus.
I will introduce you to this God. Tamara, a God of forgiveness. That is the only God you will be seeing whilst you're here.
Okay.
I want you to write asking for forgiveness to Tamara for all the crimes you have done. And then your final act to Tamara will be to starve yourself to death in her name. And at your death, you will be allowed to purify your soul and perhaps have a better life in the next one. Do you understand? He says.
Sir, I don't know how to write. I'm just an orphan.
He says, That's why the parrot's here. He points towards the parrot.
The parrot's gonna write.
The parrot goes, right, Will. Tell me, I write. And he picks up the quill with one of his claws, and he looks towards you, and he says, "Piss, piss, right, piss." And he says, "And whilst you're writing, I will chant a hymn in hopes that you are able to be forgiven by tomorrow." And he begins chanting. But you don't understand what he's saying.
Okay.
Because he seems to be speaking Orcish or some Orc language.
Okay. Alright. And I get off my chair, I kneel down, right? Bow my head.
Yeah.
Oh, Reverend Tamara, I am truly sorry. I didn't buy 100 clams that day.
The parrot goes, and he looks towards you as if he wants your confirmation that you want to write that down.
Yeah, write that down.
Okay. Piss, piss. He begins writing the rest of it down. Can't read, can't write, can't think. He begins to write down what you're saying, word for word. You see his claw move quite eloquently. It seems as if this parrot was raised specifically for this purpose. His handwriting, it seems very fancy.
I regret. Many a regret. That I turned back and saw my friend getting hauled away. Had I not turned around, I would not be here.
The chanting begins to stutter as the Orc Warden seems to be hearing what you're saying, but he seems to go back to concentrating on what he's doing. And he slightly opens an eye and stares at you, and then goes back to his chants, his prayers.
Oh, Tamara, I regret that fateful day when I was but a wee lad of 5 years. When I took the knife to my head and made myself bald forever. Please forgive me of my sins.
And the chant, the orc stops chanting, and you hear a knock on the metal door below you. And the warden says, "Come in." And a guard comes in with a plate filled with food. All the foods are fruits and bread. And he says, "Here is your last meal. You wanted water, but you won't survive long with that. And we need your starvation to be drawn out for your forgiveness, of course."
I asked for meat.
"Oh, you asked for meat? Well, we've eaten it all."
You bastard.
Unless you want some...
I regret...
some rats. He gives you a grin.
Write this down, parrot. I regret that this guard didn't give me meat.
Meat! He writes it down. The parrot stops writing and scampers over to the other side of the desk. And the warden walks over and looks at the written letter. And he says, "Well, this'll have to do." And he goes off and he says, "Enjoy your meal. I will return with something for you. Something you'll want to see." And there's no reply as he disappears.
Damn.
And the guard says, "Oh yes, he's gonna throw that. You're gonna throw that away. You're not gonna get anything. And he begins to walk away. And he says, "Now don't think we're letting you go. Everyone's watching you here. Don't think you're alone. You're never
What's
alone."
that little? So you don't see. So you see the spider on your back then.
And he says, "Shut up. There's no spiders." Alright. And there's no sound. You seem to be completely alone in this room. Besides the parrot, of course. And a plate full of fruit and bread.
I give the parrot. Parrot, here's an apple. Can you stand facing the wall in this corner?
Parrot says, "Apple? No apple! Eat! Eat!"
Alright, I guess I just eat. I'm like, I'll just stand up, walk around. I go here, and just like while I'm eating the fruit, just have to cruise around, see what's there.
Yeah.
Look at my surroundings, pretty much. Just eat,
Okay,
yeah.
so you inspect the surroundings. There's a metal door, like a completely metal door behind you that's been shut, and the latch has been closed, so you think it's locked. The warden disappeared down this hallway, and there seems to be 2 doors over here. When you heard this door open, the door south of you, you were able to hear the sounds of moaning and of groaning. You would assume that to the south of you are where the cells are.
Interesting.
And perhaps to the north of you as well. Given by the layout that was given to you by Moon, the prison is very symmetric.
Am I able... On this desk here, is there a ledger for all the people?
As in the people who've entered the prison?
Yeah, who's entered?
Yes,
Yeah,
there is.
I looked for Tori's name.
You have to search through a few papers, but you're able to find Tori's paper.
Where is she located? As I bite my apple.
The paper doesn't have any information of where she's located. It just says her crimes, and it says her confessional to Tamara, basically. Is there as well. A copy of it, it seems.
Let's read the confessional.
The confessional says, "I regret being caught." And that's it.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Sounds like her. Anyway.
And as you look at the writing, you also see that there seems to be a strange symbol at the bottom of the note, the confessional that Tori made. And the symbol seems to be a finger pointing to your left.
Weird.
And other than that, there is nothing else on the note.
Pointing to my left. So here, right?
Yes, the finger is pointing to your left.
Okay. I walk up there and kind of try and open the door, keep it ajar, like have it peek through.
Okay, so the door doesn't open.
Okay. Well, shit.
It's basically it's locked. And then you hear the parrot say, "Don't leave! Don't leave! Eat! Eat!"
I guess I ate another fruit. I pretty much ate everything at this point. I'm just like scouting around. I like walk here if I can eavesdrop anything.
Yeah. You can make a perception check if you like.
Okay.
If you want to look for anything hidden.
I have a 20, dirty 20.
Okay. There seems to be a loose tile over here. Loose tile over here. You lift open the loose tile and you see a key.
Alright, I grab the key. And
grab
hide it
the key and put the tile
between my
down.
cheeks.
Between your cheeks. And you hear footsteps. And the warden returns. And he says, "Are you satiated?" Good.
Yeah.
Now it's time for your bath.
Oh. Okay. Didn't even let me finish there.
And he turns around. He turns to the left and he says, "Come this way. He will clean you."
Alright.
And he opens the door. Yeah. He opens the door. And he says, "Well, you'll have to clean yourself. You can't expect us to wash your sins away." And he says, "Open the door and go to the door to the left. And you'll enter the bathhouse, which is a mini shrine to tomorrow, allowing you to clean yourself and ask for forgiveness of your body, as you have now asked for forgiveness of your spirit."
What's to the right? What's here, Warden?
To the right.
With my standing.
He says, "In front of you is certain death. You wish to die immediately. By all means, walk through that door. But if you wish to live a little longer, turn left and have a relaxing bath in the Shrine of Tomorrow."
Can I see if he's lying to me?
Yes, you can make an insight check.
To see if he's giving me the old switcheroo?
Switcheroo.
Alright. Insight. Okay, 21.
You think he's telling the truth.
Okay. Alright. I'll go wash under.
He seems to believe everything he's saying. Alright. He says, "I will wait here with your new clothes and then escort you to your prison cell." And he closes the door behind you. And you just hear singing, soft singing.
Can I investigate this door at all? See what's behind there? Or if
yeah. The door, it's a metal door like the others, but it's not it's not as well reinforced as the others. And yeah, you begin to turn the handle and it seems to be completely open.
Okay. I am going to try and pull out my dagger and cut myself loose.
Cut yourself loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stealthily.
Yeah, stealthily. Whilst you're in this little section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you'll need to make a sleight of hand to be able to cut yourself free.
Okay.
Sleight of hand.
Oh my god. Why did it have to happen now? It's a nat 1.
So, in fact, your dagger drops to the ground. And as it drops to the ground, you hear the warden say, "What's that?" And he busts the door open and he looks at the ground. He says, "That's a dagger." He's like, "You can't die soon. You'll have to die slow." And he takes the dagger and he walks away. He says, "Think about what you've done." And so now you don't have your dagger anymore. And the door closes, yeah.
I'm gonna do it another way. Can I cast Fireball on my binding?
on your bindings. Cast Firebolt. You can't. Your hand doesn't have enough motion to make the motion.
The sigils, yeah, the sigils.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm out of I can't really defend myself now, so I'm just gonna go here.
Yeah.
Open it and see and look inside first.
Okay. You open the door to your left, and a waft of steam comes through, and you smell the scent of honey and cinnamon. And it seems to be a regular bathhouse with 3 silver baths with steaming water in them. They seem to be prepared earlier whilst you were eating.
Okay. I turn back and open the store.
Completely open, or you just you wanna peek through?
Peep through.
That's what Trent gave that option.
Alright.
Like enough to see what's going inside, and enough so I can slam it shut if I need to.
So as you open the door, the first thing that you smell is blood. You smell the stench of blood and of decay. And then you begin to hear sounds of crunching and gnawing as you open the door. And then the next thing you see is smashing of the skull of one of these guards in the corner, and then you close the door.
Okay.
Quickly.
I'm like, okay. Well, I think I need a shower from that. Take a bath.
Okay.
So a guard's head just got smashed in, is that right?
Basically got smashed in, and yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna soak on this thing and just pretend I didn't see that.
As you begin to take your bath, you start to feel very weary, very sleepy. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw to not go to sleep. So peaceful, so calm.
Oh my god, thank god, I have a 17.
So 17, you're able to fight the feeling of going to sleep. Alright. And all you hear now is the bubbles of the bath and silence. And you begin to hear this door open here.
Okay. I pretend to be asleep.
Okay. And you start to hear panting.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And a dog comes in. You can see with your eye just slightly open. You see the dog come in.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog goes over to one of the baths and looks in. The baths are very high, so the dog has no idea who's inside. And it sees that there's no one in there, and then it goes to the one in the middle.
Uh-oh.
And then it comes over to your bath, Rufus, and looks over. You hide in the bath, underneath the water.
It wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make any sense. Yeah.
Okay. So so you're still pretending to be asleep, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm aware of what's happening.
Yeah. So the dog puts its paws over the tips of the bathtub, and then it begins to growl. And it starts to growl at you and starts barking.
Yeah, what's up? Hey, doggy.
And yeah. So you open your eyes, you start talking to it, and then it starts growling and barking at you. It starts barking loud. It seems to be an alert or an alarm dog or something. It just starts barking. And
I throw. Okay. Here you go.
Yeah. And as this happens, you hear people rush in. You hear guards rush in from the sides.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in through the sides and they're like, oh god, Awake-a, huh? And then one of the guards
Come
says,
join me, guys. Come join me.
alright, I'll get the special dosage. And he disappears. And he says, this other guy comes up to you and he says, do you truly want forgiveness? You have to give your body to Tamara. Do you understand?
Okay.
And he says, now you have to let go. Do you understand?
I prepare an action.
Okay. What action are you preparing?
I'm prepared to grab his hand if anything jots towards me.
Okay. Well, his hand comes out and he begins to place his hand on your shoulder. And with your prepared action, you grab his hand.
I'm scared. I grab his hand. I grab his hand. I'm like, I'm scared.
And he says, it's okay. He says, it's okay. He begins to try to console you. He says, it's okay. Tamara sees you, and Tamara will forgive you. As long as you're able to give yourself up to her. And the dog starts growling more and barking more, and he says, alright, that's enough. That's enough, Fido. I think this one is repentant. You can go now. And he begins to whine, and then he begins to leave. Special dogs they are. They can tell when someone is up to no good. But this is an old mutt, so you'll have to forgive him. He barks at anything nowadays.
I see. Glad to see he's still working, but I feel like he needs to be. He needs to enjoy the rest of his life.
Well, you see, all of us here live the same life you do. We stay here until our deaths. None of us here actually leave this floor of the cells, of the prison. So he'll be here until he dies. We all will. And then the other guard comes out. And as he comes out, he has a small white ball. And he says, alright, I have it. I have this special sleeping agent. And he drops it into the bath.
I jump out.
Into your bath. Alright, as you jump out, the guard who's consoling you says, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So the key is still in between my asshole, right?
Yes, it's keistered. Your key is nicely keistered.
I run, and just I go through here.
Okay, so Rufus, with the key keistered between his cheeks or whatever, he jumps out of the bath and begins running out. And he goes through the door over here, revealing the door. You close your mouth and you basically fight through the sickening smells. And you enter the other side and you close the door behind you, so you can just pull your token up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And as you close the door behind you, you hear the latch shut and lock. It seems you're locked on this side. And on the other side, you see a interesting figure.
I'm actually a bit scared.
You're scared? You shouldn't be scared. Where is it? Ah, there it is. There it is. reveal.
Oh man.
Did that reveal?
No.
Okay, this should reveal. So you see yourself, hopefully.
I see myself.
Awesome. And then the room has changed. There is no blood now. There is only one person there. And it seems to be Moon.
Moon. Oh god. I'm like on my knees,
And
holding
she
Moon.
looks at you
Moon, I'm so
quizzically.
glad to see you.
And you're on your knees, and she begins to pat your head. And as she's patting your head, you start to feel very sleepy. And you'll have to make a wisdom saving throw.
So mad. 11.
You feel so safe and so soothed as Moon is patting you, and you pass out.
Fuck me.
And before you pass out, the smell of blood and death enters your nostrils for a split second, and you feel that you have made a very grave mistake. Okay. Alright, so Varessa, it has been a few hours now. In fact, it's been probably half a day. Or actually, well, it's been a full day basically. It's basically the next day at the same time.
Okay.
And you're starting to wonder.
I was going to do a little scouting while we were waiting, like, you know, just hiding in the trees.
Okay.
Having a look at the walls and all that, you know, just seeing if there's any like gaps in guard patrol or if I can scale a wall potentially, you know. Just
So you just scout the surroundings, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like we basically stay behind these trees, but we're like looking at the walls, and obviously because these guys are like that, we don't go near there. I can't really see below here, so I assume there's trees there. But we're basically just scouting, looking for any kind of sneaky way to get up the walls or whatever.
So make a perception check for me, and no more. You can make a perception check to see if there's any unique ways to scale the prison.
Ooh, a 15.
Okay. So at the 15, you notice that along the wall there seems to be each of the windows seems to have a ledge that juts out. The windows that go up, the what's over here, you can only presume to be maybe a staircase or a stairwell. You can see through. They're iron-barred windows, and you can see the inside of a staircase. And they just go up. Basically, every half floor is just a window. And it juts out. And it seems like perhaps there's a way you can climb up if you're able to hook on to the ledge of the side of the window.
Okay. Well, she would have done this before the full day. She'd be scouting ahead, so I don't know what time you want to do. But she'll test out some of the ledges, just having a quick peek if there's nobody nearby.
Okay.
Yeah, just seeing if she can pull herself up and have a quick look-see through the windows.
Yeah.
I take it was here you meant? Oh, was it over there?
Right here.
Okay.
In this like
so
circle.
Like
that's basically a staircase. Yeah.
And she'd be having a little look-see.
How do you get yourself up?
How far up is it, by the way?
It's basically like... So like, it's basically a floor up. Like each window is like a floor.
Can I actually jump that high, do you think? Like to grab it, or is that...
I think you can. You can jump for the first one.
But I can't for the rest of them. It's a bigger gap, I take it.
Yeah, the gap gets bigger.
Okay, she'll jump up pull up on the first one, just having a quick peek before dropping. Yeah, like pulling herself up a little bit, just have a quick peek before dropping down, just in case somebody was actually there.
So as you peek in, you see the inside of a staircase. It seems to just ascend upwards.
Alright, how high is the top of this then? The very top?
You would say maybe around 6 floors?
So if she had a climbing rope with a hook, let's say, on the end,
Yeah.
would she be able to try and, because she can't see any guards at the top,
Yeah.
would she be able to launch it up there to see if she can actually hook it up to the very top?
You'd have to make a strength check.
Yep. Okay.
Well, then Rufus says after a couple hours we should leave him. I think we should leave him, you know?
Okay. 12.
You fail. It falls
Okay.
down.
Good. Okay, I'll try again. Let me have a look. Okay, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you fail. It falls down.
90? Okay, Varessa says 3rd time's the charm and gives it another 16, and then she just gives up.
The rope snaps. And falls down. And the hook on the top, it's just stuck at the very top. So you can't use that rope to pull yourself up anymore.
Damn.
You said the hook's stuck at the top with a bit of rope on it.
Yeah.
Could I tie my use a mage hand, a very useful one, to tie some rope to that hook? My other bit, my what is it? I still have it with me. Where is it? My sailor's ropes, which you said were 200 feet of rope. Could I take one end of that and tie it to the hook with mage hand? Is that an option?
Yeah, you can do that. If you're a mage hand, you tie the sailor's rope to the end of the hook.
And then I'll give it a few tugs to make sure it's secure.
Mm-hmm.
And then
as you tug it, it doesn't feel secure.
Alright, can I use Mage Hand to whack the thing to try and secure it more?
yeah, you do that. And it seems to tighten up a little bit.
Alright, she gives it some test tugs and thinks it's good enough, I guess.
Yeah, you think it's good enough.
Shift. Alright, she starts slowly scaling up the wall, but not directly next to the window. So she can peek to the side through the windows as she's going up to make sure.
Yeah, there's no one out there. Yeah. So you slowly scale up the tower, and as you peek through the window each time, there's no one. There's nothing. No sound. Sometimes you do hear the sounds of people walking up, but I'm assuming Varessa just waits until the people have passed, and then begins to climb again.
And she's not directly, she's just next to the window where the rope is, so she's just being extra cautious, so they might hear her foot or whatever, so she's pausing whenever she hears anybody.
Yeah.
Until she gets to the top, where she'll just peek over the top, I guess, just having a quick look to see if there's actually any guards up here, because she couldn't see any from the ground. And nobody reacted to her rope with the hook on it, so...
Yeah. So you reach the very, very top of the tower, and you start to feel immense gusts of wind pushing on you. And you'll have to make a... let's say an athletics check to see if you can hold on or slip.
14.
So due to the high winds, you lose your grip and you're pushed off away from the rope, and you begin to fall. Basically, you're falling. So if the rope's where you were before, you are now falling like somewhere over here, and you cannot reach the rope anymore. And you're falling, and you feel that you will probably plummet to your death.
Just curious, how high up is it?
So it's around 6 floors high.
And I couldn't use Mage Hand to pull the rope over to me? Or
You can. You'll have to make an Arcana check though.
Alright, that'll be my first attempt. Oh damn,
Wait.
21.
21? Okay, you're able to pull the rope towards you and basically grab it before you hit the bottom of the ground.
And then I'll do a, because of my momentum, I'll do a Tarzan-like swing and launch myself back over the top. You're doing. I got my
Silence looks at you, Glave, and she gets her index finger, and twirls it around her temple in a gesture towards Veressa.
You think she's crazy?
And then she begins to nod.
Well,
And then she points over towards the side, and there's a ladder over there.
Oh, you.
Yeah, that seems about right. Could we just leave Veressa to figure things out, or do you want to watch it for a couple of hours?
That's
And then
so
she
like
points.
15
She points to her. She points to her wrist. She seems to be indicating that we might not have enough time.
You know what? Fine. You're right. You're right. Rufus could be in serious trouble, so I'll just like approach Veressa and just tell her what Moon or what Silence is about the ladder being visible.
Oh boy, I didn't see that over there. I guess Veressa unhooks a rope off the top with Mage Hand to the hook, and then just wraps it up and goes.
Yeah, you'll have to knock the ladder down from the very top for it to fall to the bottom. But it's secured to the top. So you just knock it down with Mage Hand, and the metal ladder just falls all the way down and lands in the corner here. So you now have a ladder. There you go. And you begin to climb up the ladder.
Mm-hmm. This time she braces herself at the top.
Yeah.
In case it's really gusty again. Because this time she'll actually have a secure grip on the ladder. So hopefully she'll be secure enough to be able to stay on top.
You feel a hand on your shoulder, Glave, and it seems to be Silence. And she seems to be pointing toward the ladder and pats you on the back. And then she brings her hands together and grips them together.
Okay. I'm down to try.
Okay.
What do I roll? Do I roll for acrobatics, right? Or something?
Just roll for athletics. Athletics. Just to climb up the ladder.
What do I
got a dirty 1.
Okay, so you don't even get up the first step and you fall. And you and you fall down onto the ground. And then Silence goes towards you no more. And she crouches down and she points towards the ladder. She makes the same symbol.
My rope's tripping me up.
Should I roll for my climb to the top then, or?
No, you make it to the top. You make it to the top with Mage Hand.
Okay. So I'm just bracing myself at the top then against the wind, or do I need to do a roll for that?
So basically, you reach the very top of the window. At the very top, and it just leads to basically the last pair of stairs before you enter the very top floor. And it looks something like this. Last pair of stairs in the window.
Okay, so I'm up here somewhere.
Yeah. Basically, you have to pass through because you're basically going into over here. Yep. And then your final set of stairs now.
I guess I'll wait at the top of the ladder. I think you said it was there, right? In case I need help.
Yep.
Especially after I just saw Glauve fall over. I'll give him the Mage Hand pat on the back. You can do it.
I'm gonna try again.
I'll give him helping hand with the Mage Hand, like the pat on the back.
I'm literally -1 on my athletics, so boom, fuck it, let's go. I got a 0.
How? Oh, I know how.
Negative
Wait,
1. I got that 1 minus
That's a
1,
nat
so I
1.
literally got 0.
That's
Holy,
crazy.
I've never seen that
That's
before.
crazy. That's crazy. So with the
Falls
0, you
They don't have
fall
something special?
and you hurt yourself and you break your arm.
Fuck. Wow.
And as you break your arm,
Really?
Silence rushes over towards you, and she begins to start trying to help you with your broken arm. She brings out a splint from her backpack, and she begins to wrap your arm up. And
Thank you.
You start
Thank
to
you,
feel the small sounds, small humming sounds coming from her, and you feel that the pain is going away, but there's something wrong with the magic that she's using.
Something wrong?
Something wrong. You feel something's wrong, but it feels to have some restorative effect on you. And then she looks over at Gnomeless. No more. And no more. Did you want to climb the ladder as well?
No, I just wait. How long have I known everyone for?
Probably a day and a half by now.
Day and
maybe.
a half. Okay.
Yeah, a day and a half.
I start looking at Silence, and then I start looking at my Jays.
Yeah.
I notice my Jays have wings on them.
Yeah.
I will. Can I just fly out?
Do you have to attune to the boots?
Does it take a day to attune to?
A long rest, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to attune
So-
to them. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Alright, sure. Yeah. Oh.
So you'll begin to attune to your boots?
It's gonna take ages to attune to my boots, so you know,
Yeah.
I'll just tap my boots and then I will start attempting to climb the ladder.
Okay.
Or-
So Nomor begins to climb the ladder.
Restro will do the verbal helping hand. You can do it. So I believe you can offer somebody encouragement.
Yeah. You sure
and
can.
I'm pretty sure I'll.
You have
I'll
advantage on the action, I believe.
Which one is it again? Which one am I rolling? Acrobatics?
Athletics.
Athletics. Ah.
You can do acrobatics if you want.
Oh, yikes. I get a 6.
You get advantage, remember, because I cheered you on.
Oh, nice. 17.
17. Okay, you are able to pull yourself up. All the way to the very tippy top where Varessa is.
I'll help pull him up the last bit as well. I guess I'll say, Lauve, you can do it, and give him the verbal helping assist, I believe.
Oh man. Can I attempt to climb again with my broken arm with the splint shit?
Yeah.
DM master?
So Silence makes a gesture, and she puts her she points towards your arm, and then she does a gesture with her fingers. She rubs her fingers together, and then she claps. She seems to be trying to communicate something to you.
You want me to clap my
She turns
my hand
around
together?
and she begins to write something on a note, and then she gives it to you. And you read the
Let me
note,
see.
and the note says sacrifice. And then she grabs it, and then she scribbles it, and then she rewrites something, and then she says offering. And it says offering there.
What do I have to give for, and what would I get?
She says she doesn't say. She does a gesture with her hand. So basically, she writes something of value, and then she points to your arm, and then she writes fix.
Wait,
Give her some money. Versa says.
what sort of offering do you after? If you want some money, I have quite a bit of it. Unless the offering is something else.
She does a crossing hand with her arms, and she shakes her head. And then she points towards your heart.
My faith?
And then she nods.
Baressa goes, Glove, you can heal yourself instead for free.
I'm aware, but I'm kind of curious.
You can't heal a broken arm.
I can heal myself too, but I can't really fix a broken arm, so I can just heal myself up.
Yeah,
I'm chill down here. I'm good. I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
Okay.
She nods, and then she looks up. She looks up, and then she does the thumbs up to you two at the very top.
I guess she's not coming up. I take it. All right. I guess we'll have a look-see inside.
I'll tell Silence that I appreciate all the stuff that she's done for me, but my faith is the one thing that I would not wage on, even if it meant it kills me.
All good. All right. So you ascend up the stairs, and you reach a door, which you open, and you begin to enter.
It's like black here, by the way.
Is it black? You can't see anything?
Yeah, it's like black from like here.
Oh, wait. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, still nothing's changed, right?
Nope. Okay.
Nothing's changed, that's good to hear. And yep, there we go. So you turn and then you ascend up the very top of some stairs.
I said, were you coming in from the top, I take it?
Yep, you're coming in.
I would like to listen carefully to see if I can hear anything before we start going into this staircase, if that's okay.
Yeah, so you hear the sounds of panting and some sniffling sounds and some grunts. That's all you hear at the moment.
Is that from... Okay. But it's
up,
from beyond here,
yeah, over here. Yeah.
Okay, Verasa will sneak down to here, and then... Is there a gap underneath the door, or no?
There's a gap underneath the door.
She'll have a little lean down and a peek under the door, see what she can see.
Yep. You see some shoes. So it seems that there are people standing in front of the door. You would assume they're guards, and there are two of them. And you also see two dogs sitting down, their tails. You see their tails sitting down.
Mm-hmm. It is time to be a little... Alright, what can this guy even do? I've not done anything with this, I don't know what he can do. I guess I'll go back here and ask, hey, what could you actually do?
Yeah.
Just because she's got some idea what she wants to do, but she wants to know what if he can assist or not.
Me? Do something? What do you want me to do?
I'm just asking what you can do, so I know what to expect help-wise from you, like what you're capable of. Basically, just a generic kind of overview of what you do. Like, do you punch? Do you stab? What kind of that kind of stuff? You know.
I have a stick here. Oh, this stick proves fairly useful. I can poke people with it.
Can you poke
I believe
them?
they call it I believe they call it a rapier.
Okay, and can you stab people many times in a row?
Maybe? Maybe not.
Okay.
You hear a sound. You guys hear a sound coming from the door. It seems to be a single word, but you don't know what it says. It seems to be in a language neither of you understand. It seems to be some sort of calling sound, but after that sound comes out, you hear footsteps starting to go away from you guys, starting to fade away.
Okay, I'll come back and have a peek under the door to see if they're still there then, after hearing
Alright, so you just see the dogs. The dogs are there now.
Okay. Doggies, eh? Can... Just...
2 dogs.
Okay, Veressa uses druidcraft to make the far side of this door start smelling like a skunk. Just where the doggies are, making it smell with druidcraft.
Yeah.
Because you can do a sensory effect. Like,
and you start to hear whimpering sounds from the dogs, and they start to bark and run off. You hear the scampering sounds of dogs running off and barking.
okay. After seeing it clear, she opens the door a crack and peeks through if it's unlocked.
The door's unlocked, and you're able to see, and you see a hallway. And as you open it, you see the very tail end of a dog disappear. It seems to run off.
Alright, I guess you'll slowly sneak in. Is that a window to the outside or into a room?
So there's a window here, and then there's a door here as well.
So sneak a peek through the window.
You sneak a peek through the window, and he reveals a room, which seems to be some sort of room for visitors. Or you're actually not really sure what the room's for. There's a chair there. There's a chair there, and there's another door and a window.
I guess she'll gesture for no more to check it out while she covers the corridor, or she just keeps an eye out down here. Have a look-see inside there. If the door's unlocked, I guess.
The door is locked.
Oh, well.
Oh,
none of us can.
And something crawls out from underneath the chair of the chair, and it's a dog.
Alright, I guess we...
The dog turns and looks at you no more. And it just stares at you.
I start looking at the dog. I look back.
The dog's head turns. Its head turns to the side. You see around the neck of the dog, there is a collar. And on the collar there seems to be keys.
Veressa, is the window unlocked?
The window is just a window of metal bars, and it's not unlocked. It's locked.
Okay.
It's not really an opening window. It's just like a grating.
Okay, Veressa does a sneaky mage hand to try and grab the keys. If you can grab them.
Yeah. So as you grab the keys, or begin to start grabbing the keys, the dog begins to jump back and hide under the chair.
Okay. Veressa smacks the chair over with mage hand, I guess, so she can see it again.
Okay. So you smack over the chair with mage hand, and it reveals the dog underneath.
And then I guess she tries to grab the keys again.
Okay.
You want me to do a check to grab them or something?
Yeah, you can do a check. Just do an Arcana check.
Oh boy, a 22.
Alright, you're able to grab the keys from the dog, and the dog begins to whimper and cower in the corner.
She pulls them through, I guess because he says iron bars, so she just pulls them through the iron bars into her hand.
The iron bars are... Oh, yeah. So you're able to pull the keys through.
Yeah, bring it with the mage hand and then just grab.
Yeah.
And she'll
so now
test
you have
one
a ring of keys.
She will test them on the door, but not actually... Yeah, not... Just lock and then unlock it if it works.
Yeah, so it works on this door. It opens and unopens this door.
Alright. Second of... I'll call it chain of prison, because I remember I have it. She opens the door and then tells no more to deal with the dog.
Yeah.
Or tells him to keep it quiet.
You start to hear sounds coming from down the hallway. The sounds are basically talking between two guards. And one of the guards says, "Oh, it was a very, very messy room to clean this time." The other one says, "Yep, one of the most gruesome kills they've had yet." And then the other one says, "Yeah, but they talked so much. I'm kind of glad that they're gone now." And you start to hear the sounds of footsteps coming from around the corner, coming down towards here.
Okay.
Anything you'd like to do?
I guess we unlock the... Go to the door, with the door unlocked, we zip inside here to hide.
Yeah. Okay.
And I tell him to keep the dog... make the dog shut up or whatever.
Okay.
As I try and open this door.
Okay. The guards come back. And then they say, "Where did our dogs go?" And then they start looking around. And they're like, "Oh, they must have gone to play with this old coot in here." And one of them begins to start walking towards the window here. And begins to start peeking in. And I'll need you guys to make a stealth check to see if you can hide.
I didn't manage to get the door open in time on the other end, I take it.
No. You open the door, but you think you'll have to hide because you won't have enough time to open and close it.
Oh boy.
11.
Oh, 17.
So, Varessa, you're able to open and close the door behind you and enter the other room. The 17.
Okay.
And no more, what did you get?
I got an 11.
You got an 11, okay. So, with an 11, one of the guards says, "What's that sound?" And then he begins to look at the dog. And he says, "What are you doing in here?" And he says, "Has this sound been you this whole time?" And then the dog begins to whimper. Starts whimpering more. And he says, "Alright, I'm going to start coming in then. Also, where's your keys?" And he begins to start to open the door. But as he begins to start opening the door, he hears another call. Another call comes through. And then the guards look at each other and they say, "Oh no, it's happening again." And they start to rush away. This time. Seems no more was saved by the chants or the calls from another language. And Varessa, as you enter the room, you see what appears to be some sort of desk. With a nice chair and a desk. And on the desk there seems to be notes about... There basically seems to be a log of the everyday events happening in the prison. That's what it seems to be. It has a calendar and it's dated.
Okay, I guess Restro will do a quick browsing through it to see if there's anything useful. Mm-hmm. I take it that's not a door, that's just a wall.
No, that's a door as well. It's a door as well.
Okay. She'll start browsing through the stuff, waiting for no more to catch up, I guess.
Yep. So it's in another language, but the numbers are dated. So it seems to be some sort of log or something, but it's not a language you don't understand.
Marissa cast the cantrip. Okay. She casts the cantrip comprehend languages, and while touching it, so she can comprehend the language.
Yeah. Okay.
I probably should have done that when I heard the sirens, but I forgot about the cantrip.
Okay, so the text is written in Orcish, and so as you cast comprehend languages, you begin to understand basically what is written, and it is a log of the daily events happening at this floor of the prison, and it talks about basically talks a lot about this god Tamara and how this prison is made to basically as a way of giving of the prisoners finding forgiveness for Tamara, and it basically gives logs about what people have said, their prayers, events that have happened, such as the foods that people have ordered, what they've written down. It seems to talk about the dogs as well. There seems to be, I don't know, some special importance of the dogs. The person who's writing this just seems to talk, just basically just writes down everything he thinks, and there seems to be no sort of structure or anything like that in the writing. But you do gain information. You seem to understand after reading it that the idea of this prison is that for when every prisoner dies, it's a sort of offering or sacrifice to Tamara. That's what it seems to be.
Did I recognize any of the names on the confessions? Like, do I see Tori or...
Yes, you see Tori, and you also see Rufus. Rufus's alias.
Okay, so I see Jason Derulo, I think.
Yeah. You see that, yeah.
Alright, after reading about the sacrifices, she opens the door back into here and says, "Yeah, look, does it say if Jay Sean dead in that yet or not? Or is that...
No, it hasn't. But there hasn't been any log written for today yet.
Okay, it just says their confession.
Yeah.
Okay, she just comes back in here, tells him to drag the dog into here and get rid of it. Because the dog seems to have some significance to the sacrifice, but she doesn't know what. So she wants to get rid of it, basically. Tells him to pull it into here and so it's out of sight in case those guards come back.
Yeah.
Tell him to get rid of it.
So as you get the dog, so how do you want to get rid of the dog?
I just told him to kill it, basically.
Yeah. Before you guys kill the dog, make rolls for me. Make a perception roll for me.
Perception, okay.
Yep.
17.
What did you get? No more?
Perception. 16.
Alright. So before you kill the dog, Varessa and No More, you notice that this dog smells like piss for some reason.
Oh my gosh. They turned Rufus into the dog.
And Varessa and No More, you do recognize, or you remember, that before, whilst Rufus was moving, he did have piss poured on him by Silence.
Okay, Varessa reaches onto the dog's front paws and pulls off a pair of invisible gloves, I guess, confirming his identity.
Yeah. Basically, you pull off a pair of invisible gloves.
The thieves' gloves.
The gloves. Thieves' gloves of the dog.
And
the dog.
she places a hand onto the dog and does an Arcana check, I guess. Or
Yes.
she does detect. Well, she uses detect magic, but she's just detect magic.
So as you do detect magic, you're able to recognize this magic instantly as that of Rufus. It seems that he was transformed or transmogrified into a dog somehow.
Okay. So do I get any? Can I see any aura of the spell that was cast to change him into a dog, or is that gone?
Okay. So
Was it too long? Or is it faded?
it's so you still see a radiating aura of the spell, but you think that after a while the effect will be permanent. So there's not much time left. You think the spell will probably settle in permanently in like 3 hours.
Okay.
But you're not sure how to undo the effects.
Baressa says right paw for yes, left paw for no to the doggy, and then starts starts asking questions to can you lead us to where it happened?
Yeah.
I guess I can't lead them. All right.
Yeah. So actually, you can respond for this.
Okay.
Rufus, you can respond to whatever he asks. You can respond.
Do I know if I know? No, I just woke up like a dog, didn't I?
Yeah, you just woke up as a dog, so you're a dog now.
So no.
Does he remember where? Does he remember where he was before he became a dog? Like his last memory in the prison? Would he recognize where that is?
Yes.
He'll know by scent, so he does say yes.
All right.
Say yes.
Edward.
Okay. Edward. Okay. Baressa points and says, "This door or that door," as in which way to go. Points at the door behind this one. Says this door.
So it'll be this door. So yeah, you can just this door.
Okay.
This is the door.
She says,
he nods towards.
Okay. She says, "I'll fix it for you if I can. Otherwise, I'll burn this place to the ground."
Yeah. Okay.
Tells him to come along.
Let's see if I can make you able to control this dog.
Woof woof. Grr.
Okay, I'll just put away his thieves' glove stuff. That. I'll keep that away for him for now with his other stuff.
Yep.
Okay, man. If this guy Tori didn't just had to keep his fingers to himself, I would still be human. I'm gonna bite him.
What? Pause.
Yo, what?
Yo, give him rabies. Give him rabies, am I right?
Yeah, he's probably a dog too.
So I believe you open this door and it reveals the next room, which just ignore that door at the bottom right. There's only one door here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's only one door.
Baressa asks, can I see under the door?
You can.
Again, or is it no?
Yeah, you can see under the door. And as you look under the door, steam comes out of the door, and you just see like some sort of silver structure. I don't know, something silver.
Baressa will say steam silver,
and it smells like cinnamon and honey.
She'll say she'll say steam and then be like, good or bad, waiting for the response. Oh, then yes is good, no is bad.
Bad. I'm just like thinking, like, what if it was like safe? Bad. I'm just gonna go with bad.
Alright, Veressa will prepare a firebolt, sorcerer's burst on her hand as she slowly opens the door.
Yep.
While peeking inside, I guess.
So you prepare a spell and begin to open the door. And as you open the door, a rush of steam comes through, and it shows what seems to be a bathhouse. But there's no one inside.
Sneaks a peek through here and sees nothing.
See nothing besides these 3 bathtubs.
Okay. I guess I'll look at the doggy and say, like, look, anything in here, boy? I guess. Ask you to point anything.
That's bad. That's like one tap of the paw.
Yeah.
Okay, bad. So she'll keep the spell, the cantrip prepped, and open the door again. This next door again slowly.
Okay. So as you open the next door, it reveals some hallway that leads to 2 other doors.
And she'll move to here, and then she'll look at Doggy Rufus to get him to which one, boy, and wait for him to point.
This door, I go 1 tap of bad. This door, I just keep tapping bad, like really, really bad.
Okay, the rest of she prepares another spell, Witch's Bolt, 2nd level, and after seeing the repeated taps, and slowly opens this door. But she doesn't go into the room.
Yeah. You turn the handle, but it's locked.
Do none of the keys I have work?
You go through the keys you have, and none of them work.
Alright, I guess she lowers... Because she didn't cast it, she just prepped it, so she just swaps back to Sorcerer's Burst and goes to this door and slowly opens it.
Yep, and the door is locked as well. Both doors are locked. And none of the keys work.
Wait, you can try and lockpick with the I would still have my lockpick inside the.
Yeah, I don't have. I suppose with the lockpick set, I would maybe have increased proficiency, but I could try. Guess I'll try pick lock it.
You don't think you can lockpick it? You have to have you have to have training in this tools to be able to use the tool.
Okay. How weak is this door?
It's a metal door, and you think that you could probably blow it open, but it would make a lot of noise if you were to do that.
Can Veressa try pushing her fingers onto the lock to see if she has enough strength to pop the lock through?
With your fingers?
Yeah. Do like she tests it because locks are usually a weak point on a door. So she just
you can do a strength check to see if you can do that.
Get 16.
The lock doesn't break, doesn't poke through.
Okay, I guess we'll have to head backwards then. Can't get through there.
As both of you exit the room, you hear I don't know what happened there. You hear a popping sound, like an unlocking sound.
Oh, okay.
You hear an unlocking sound. Just an unlocking sound from the bottom right of the room. As you exit the room.
I go to push these guys inside. Fast.
Hey, what happened to my character? I can't.
Do you also enter the room?
Ressa goes into here, but she keeps it open a crack just to keep peek
Yeah.
through.
So as
with the sorceress burst already.
So as you all enter the bathhouse, you hear a locking sound.
Unlocking or locking?
A locking sound. So first you heard an unlocking sound, and now you hear a locking sound.
Somebody just unlocked and locked the door.
Yeah.
Did I see anybody come through for the crack in the door, or did they just lock?
No one's gone
the door?
through. No one's gone through.
I guess we'll head back around to here, because you said the other door didn't exist here, right?
Yeah, there's like no door here.
Okay, and then I'll open this one and have a peek to make sure those guards aren't over here.
Yep, the guards are still gone. No guards there.
And then she comes back here. To make sure doggy roof is following, I guess.
Yeah. So you see further down the hallway, and there's a window. And at the end of the window, there's a dog. And you creep around the corner, and you're able to see what seems to be the warden just sitting, looking through something. So there's two windows here. And he seems to be sitting and doing something. His back's turned towards you.
This is the same kind of window, isn't it? The iron bars.
So just iron bars, basically.
Okay, can I see anything here?
Yeah. So as you go through there, you see that it's just the end of a hall and a turn. So you should be able to see all of this, probably. Yeah.
Alright, one second, actually. What can she do? I guess we'll sneak by for now, because I don't really want to start firing with my hand through iron bars at him.
Yeah.
So we'll try and hug this wall and sneak by.
Mm-hmm. So Rufus, you're able to just scamper next to the wall because you're like so short. You're practically beneath the window, so you're able to go by.
I think it's the same for this guy as well.
yeah, basically the same.
Alright, can Varessa just after seeing that just crawl behind?
Yeah, you can just crawl. Yeah, you can just crawl. It's mimic being a dog. You can just crawl.
She just commando crawled.
Yep.
Goes. And then once they're back here, she stands.
And whilst you're doing that, you hear the sound of something walking away and then disappearing. And you look through and you see this room. This room is very familiar to you, Rufus. And you see a parrot there.
Okay, I guess. Is Doggy gonna get revenge on Parrot? But did I see the dog in there, by the way?
There's a dog in there. There's a dog in there.
Alright, can I try the door here?
You try the door, but it's locked. It's locked.
And my keys don't work, I take it?
Yeah. And you start to hear this door over here unlock. And it seems like someone is about to open the door.
Okay, we head back over to here, like peek around the corner. Ready.
Okay.
You
see a guard come out. Yeah. You see a guard come out, and then you see someone. You see a thief tied up.
Okay.
And the guard leads the thief, opens this door, and leads him into this room, and tells him to walk through the right door. And the prisoner walks through the right door.
Okay, so there's two doors in there.
Yeah, there's two doors there.
Varessa peeks around here, waiting to see if the guard does anything, or if he tries to come back through the door.
The guard begins to walk back out.
She
and then just stands there.
She clobbers him on the head.
Yep.
With her staff.
Make a strength check.
Okay. 14.
He's dazed. He's dazed. And he turns around and he looks towards you. And he starts blinking his eyes. And he says, "Where's your uniform?"
Ressa just smashes him in the head again.
He's knocked out. Yeah. He goes to sleep and he falls on the ground.
I guess she dragged his body back around the corner for now.
Yep.
What size is this guy, by the way?
Medium
So he's not More's height, but he is Varessa's height, roughly.
Yeah, basically. And you hear the sounds of the door open and a dog comes out. But what do you do with this guy?
I will drag him, and I'll take his armor off and put it on, basically. I don't know what kind of armor he has on.
You just put him over here or something?
I took him off the top of the tower to Glove, by the way. Just eat him down. Forgetting that, because I survived the height, I forgot. I just yeet him off to Glove. I don't know. Would he die from that fall?
Yeah, So Glave, you just see like a body at the very top, and it starts to get bigger. And then it starts to come towards the ground, and you step away, and you hear a massive splat. As just a naked man has just fallen from the top to the bottom of the ground. And
what kind of armor is it, by the way? Is it like plate armor or something?
Plate armor.
Okay, I'll add plate armor, but I think I might have just regular plate, I think.
Yeah, regular plate armor.
She'll put the guard's uniform on then.
Okay, so you now have the guard's uniform on.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so I don't have proficiency for the armor, so she's gonna look a bit uncomfortable in the armor.
Yeah, definitely.
Like she's new. She's gonna look like a newbie.
Look like a noob. Okay.
As she walks. I guess did that guard have keys on him? I take it, so she'll have those keys.
He did have keys. And you see an orcish man walk out of the door, and he begins petting this dog over here. I'm guessing you guys hide. You begin to hide.
Varessa doesn't. She just tells Rufus to stay near her and tells Nomor to keep at her side. Because she's basically a guard now. It looks like one anyway.
Yeah. So the orcish man, he tells this dog to stay put, and then he says to the other dog, he says, "Go," and the other dog starts to walk out. And then he says, "Sit," and the dog sits over here, and then he walks out and then turns to the left, and then he sees you, Varessa, and he sees the dog, and he says, "Didn't you hear the call? You have to go to the West Wing."
Varessa says, "I'm new, sir. They told me to not go because I'll be a liability. They told me to just keep an eye on things here. I'm the one who delivered the thief to you." That's what she says.
And then he shakes his head in frustration. He says, "All right, just keep a vigil out here. I have a feeling that tonight's going to be a troublesome night," he says. And then he says, "You know that you're probably the only person in between any of our enemies if they were to come over the top," he says. "Just beware and have faith in tomorrow."
She goes, "Yes, yes, sir," and then tries to salute, but struggles in the armor, looking like a real struggle.
He looks at you and he says, "I think you're going to need the extra help." And he looks over to this other dog, and he says, "Here, take this one."
I start growling at the dog.
This one's called, what did we call this one? And he starts looking through his papers. And he's like, "Oh, I see. This one's called T. Yes, T.
T?
T.
Rasta says, come here, T.
And
T
T
want
comes over.
And then Varessa says, Varessa holds out and says, "Poor if," and then she does. You remember earlier they did the. You remember the Sunstrider little trick they know about determining if somebody's been compromised. She asks that question to the dog, but it sounds like nonsense.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember in the first one when they thought Thingo was possessed? I asked him the question to confirm. So she does that to Big T to see if he'll give the paw or not.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, so if Big T is really Tory, it would give the paw. If not, it would probably look confused.
So it gives you the paw. It gives you the paw. So this dog seems to be Tory.
Okay.
Dog on the right.
Varessa says, "Excuse me, sir," and walks next to him. While holding her staff on one shoulder, and she slams it across his head.
Okay.
Try
and knock him out, right?
Try and knock him out, yeah.
Okay.
It's like a full swing.
Yeah. Make a strength check for me if you want to knock him out.
Oh boy,
he's an orc. He'll have to be pretty high.
28, boy.
28. Yep, you knock him out. Completely knock him out. He just falls to the ground. And the parrot says,
biting him?
Yeah, you guys can stop biting him.
Varessa,
the parrot starts chirping. It says, "Let him live! Let him live! Can't turn back! Can't turn back!"
Okay.
Varessa ties the guy up securely and takes all of his weapons and belongings off him. She even takes his armor and chucks it to the side.
Yeah. Okay.
And she'll keep the plate armor on for now, but she just grabs all his stuff and then ties him to it. He has a chair, right? She just ties him up to it.
Yeah, you tie him to the chair.
She has 200 feet of rope, so she basically just ties him over and over, like
turns him into like a burrito or something.
His entire arm, his entire torso, his entire other arm, his entire leg, even his neck, but not too tight on the neck.
Yeah.
And then she says, keep nipping him till he wakes up, is what she says.
Yeah.
Like just nipping him till he wakes up.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
No, obviously not bite, just like pinching him with.
I've already bitten him.
Okay.
Yeah, you bit him.
That's
okay. But he doesn't seem to wake up. He seems to be out cold.
Alright. Where's Glauve when you need him, eh? Would Cure Wounds wake him up, or would it not? I don't really want to waste it.
No, it won't wake him up.
Alright, can I do Spare the Dying to wake him up?
That won't wake him up either. He seems to be in deep sleep. He's pretty much on the verge of death. But he's like almost brain dead.
I hit him too hard.
You hit him too hard.
After seeing that, she'll go test the keys on the door over here. The new set of keys from him on the door.
Yeah. The door opens.
And she says, She seems to say, should we? To see if the dogs are willing to try and go through this door, or if they're too afraid to.
Which door?
This door over here. I've already unlocked this.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I'd go and I'd signal to you again. It's really, really bad.
Alright. Varessa Well, she takes off the plate armor first and chucks it to the side because it's gonna slow her down. Swaps back to her regular leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
And she preps Witch's Bolt again on her hand.
Yep.
And then
Witch's Bolt.
second level. The second level.
Yep.
Witch's Bolt.
So you begin to try and open the door, and it doesn't open. It is locked.
Even his keys don't open it?
Even his keys don't open
it. She grabs
you sense an aura of magic from the door. It seems to only open under certain conditions. Seems to be a door that's used for some sort of ritual.
Was there any fruit or food here left?
No, there was no fruit left.
Marissa picks up the plate armor's helmet and just slams it against the lock.
Yeah, slams it against the lock. Yep. It doesn't break open the door. It does not break open the door.
She comes back and then she just seems to try and get information from Doggy Rufus.
Rufus.
Trying to say, did you come in here to this room? Waits for them, and then she realizes the parrot can talk, and she says, "What do we need to do to open the door?" She remembers it talk, and she points to this door because you can see it, because this one's still open. And she grabs the parrot basically and asks it how to open the door.
The parrot says, "Door won't open. Need to be a prisoner. None of you are prisoners."
Ask how do we make somebody a prisoner then? And I point, is he not considered a prisoner? And I point at him who's like basically duct taped to the chair but with rope.
And then the parrot says, have to write to be a prisoner.
I tell him, ask can somebody write for him?
The parrot says, I can write. I can write. Need food though.
Marissa pulls out some food and tells it to write for him, the prison guard guy.
Yeah, Marissa gives the parrot some food. Maybe a bit of the crackers from your ration or something. And the parrot happily munches on the crackers and begins to start to write for the orc warden. The parrot turns towards the dogs and Marissa, and it says, "What do I write?"
So just write. What do you usually write for them?
And then the parrot says, "Nonsense!"
I'll tell it to write nonsense for this guy.
And the parrot begins to write random words on the piece of paper. And then after the parrot is done writing words on the paper, it says, "Finished! Finished!" And then it grabs the piece of paper with its claw and flies over to you and gives you the piece of paper.
Okay. Marissa drags this guy into the door and sees if it changes anything.
Yeah.
Like if it unlocks or not, now that he's considered a prisoner.
Yeah. So yeah, you take it, and the door begins to unlock. As you enter the room, and it seems that you can open the door.
Alright, so she preps the witch's bolt again,
Mm-hmm.
and she opens it.
Mm-hmm. So you prep the witch's bolt and you open the door. You open the door. And do you slowly open the door or you just whip it open?
Slowly open it. Keeping her basically pointing at where she can see the ready to cast.
Right. And as you open the door, you see a familiar face within the door. You see Nedeline within the door. As you open the door.
Actually, Nedeline, or like one of the other ones?
You want to do an Arcana check?
Okay. There's an Arcana check. Oh no, 10.
Yep, you think it's probably Nedeline by the magic signature.
I start pushing Varessa back out.
Varessa says to Nedeline, "What are you doing here?" Without dropping the bolt, because she's confused, because like Nedeline's eyes aren't that. She ain't that cross-eyed. What's going on?
Nedeline responds to you. She says, "I have some mail to give you. Come over here. It's urgent."
Varessa will just cast the witch's bolt because she knows Nedeline wouldn't ask her to come over. She'd come with the mail.
Yeah,
because that's the kind of person.
Damn, this guy's good.
Just cast the witch's bolt straight up onto the whatever that is. Because she knows Nedeline shouldn't be inside here.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like her and it's not acting like her.
Yeah. So you cast Witch's Bolt too. And as you cast Witch's Bolt, what's a cool color for Witch's Bolt?
Color is it?
I think it's beam, right? Is it beam?
It's a blue energy.
Damn! Cast Witch's Bolt. Yep, and as you cast Witch's Bolt, Nedeline begins to dismorph and twist, and begins to turn into some weird blank humanoid mannequin-like looking figure. But its head is like tilted to the side, and its body is like a bit slumped, and it starts to look at you, and its mouth begins to open wide, agape. You've never seen this creature before, but it seems to be able to turn itself into something you recognize.
What happens with my witch's bolt? Does it just hit it?
It just hits it and it kills it, basically. Kills it.
Oh, so I killed it straight up.
You just killed it straight up, yeah, and it falls to the ground. Completely dead. It's lifeless. Just lies there.
Can I detect any magical aura to indicate it might still be alive? Because I should still have detect magic running it.
Yeah. You think it's completely dead.
Or I guess Varessa will approach to investigate its corpse.
Okay. Its corpse has nothing on it.
Can she detect any anything magical aura-wise from it?
Let's see. Anything magical? No. You don't detect any magical aura from it. Nope. Nothing at all. Unless you want to do maybe a history check or something.
She'd like to just inspect the corpse, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait,
so you inspect the corpse and there's nothing on the corpse at all.
Wait, nothing I mean the body as well, like.
And the body?
Markings. Thing,
yeah.
You know, like on the body.
So other than the witch's bolt, the scorch that the witch's bolt left, there is nothing.
Right. My history roll was 18, by the way.
18. Okay. So, let's see. So with an 18, let's see. So you recognize what this creature is. You recognize it as a shapeshifter. It shapeshifts into something something from your memories. It's able to read into your memories and shapeshift into something from your memories, a person from your memories. And in particular, you know that this sort of creature has to be summoned by a powerful mage, basically. It's not from this world, and it has to be summoned to do the biddings of someone else. So you believe that this creature was probably summoned by a powerful mage of this region, somewhere of this region. But you don't recognize the magic.
Yeah. Guess you'll read this. Is that notes on the table or something?
Yeah. So you read the notes, and the notes say last words, and it just says the names and the last words of each of the people.
No clue about how they turned into dogs.
No clue. No clue at all.
She'll investigate this door.
Yep.
Hoping the dogs and other people will follow. She'll look under the door, I guess, again. That's a signature move at this point in this prison.
Okay, so as you look under the door, you see a hallway, a long hallway. A very, very long hallway.
Okay, I guess can she open this door then, or is it locked?
Before you open the door, you hear the sounds of this door opening, no more, and you see someone walk out. And he looks around and he looks at you no more. And he says, I don't get paid enough for this. And he just ignores you and then just walks further down.
Why is he a Chad thing?
And I guess, yeah, he just walks further down then. And goes off down here.
I guess Ressa will just open the door because she doesn't know about that. Just to look down the corridor because she couldn't see anything.
Okay, so you open the door and you see down the corridor, a very long corridor, and it seems to be an entrance towards the cells of the prison. Prison cells. Seems to be one of the sets of prison cells.
So this guy's basically I can't heal him.
No, he's practically brain dead.
Right, even Glave couldn't heal him.
You need someone more powerful than Glave to heal him.
She'll just drag him into here and then shut the doors.
Yeah.
For now.
Okay.
Just so he's out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be like, "Are you coming no more?" And then she'll just see this guy eating the parrot. I guess.
I'm gonna take the parrot as a little hostage.
Parrot as a prize. No more. Make an Arcana check for me.
Alright.
Wait a minute. Oh, parrot. 4 parrots a person.
7 plus 3.
7 plus 3. Okay.
17 plus 3. Which
17
is
plus 3. Okay. You sense a strong magical aura coming from the parrot. You think the parrot is magic.
I look at the parrot. I ask the parrot, "Are you?"
And the parrot says, "Ah!" That's all it says. "Ah!"
Oh. Come with me. I give you food.
Parrot says, "Food! Food!"
Up on my shoulder.
The parrot hops on your shoulder.
Oh, can I take like a stack of the paper here and like the ink with the quill and the ink or whatever?
Yeah, you can do that.
Nice. Thank you. I needed to guide me.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. And the parrot just stands on your shoulder and begins squawking. And as you go through the papers, you notice that one of the papers is different from the others at the bottom of the stack. Seems to be one paper jutting out. And you pull the paper out no more. And the paper says, it seems to say something about ways to transform people into animals. The paper seems to be a guide on how to do that, but it's in Orcish. So you do not understand it.
Excellent. I will take it with me.
He's not going to give it to me, is he?
And as you look at the other side, no more. The other side says, how to transform people from an animal back to their original selves.
Oh, actually, can I ask the parrot? Can you translate this?
The parrot says, the common? Yeah. The parrot says, yes, I can.
Please do. And I'll give you a treat.
Why do you want to read it?
Why do I want to read it? Well, you see, my literacy skills aren't that good. I've been homeschooled my entire life. Could you please tell me?
The parrot says, these are instructions for me.
Oh.
There'd be no point in you reading it, the parrot basically says.
Oh. But that's okay. It's fine. I love to know.
Make a persuasion check to convince the parrot to read you a piece of paper on how to save your allies.
14.
14. Okay, the parrot agrees to read it to you. So basically, what the paper describes on how to transform people into animals, and it describes the process of transforming people into animals with a special. It's basically it's not really a magical process. It's more of a it is magical, but it's not like directly magical. It's more of an alchemical process, and they use these special beads to basically put people into sleep and turn them into any animal of your choosing, as long as you bring a piece of that animal, like fur or scale, etc. It recommends getting the subject and submerging them underwater, and then letting them bathe inside these alchemical ingredients. And then after a few hours, you'll see that the person is transformed into an animal. So that's basically the process. And then the reverse of the process, it says, here is how to reverse the process. And it's completely blank. So, and the parrot says, we've never had to reverse it before.
Oh, thank you.
So Marissa hears this, right?
Yeah, because the parrot just says it out loud.
So she decides not to go to the cells, but comes back in here.
Yeah.
And looks inside the bath to see if there's any residue remaining of the pearls, I guess.
Yeah. Basically, you look through and you see that there's like some residue at the bottom from like some pearl or powder or something.
She'll collect that and inspect it, I guess.
Yeah.
Seeing if she can detect anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
Or discover anything from smelling it, I guess, and looking at it.
Yeah.
Because she should still have detect magic on, so she can look with her magic eyes as well.
Yeah, so they seem to be magical pearls that are basically just condensed, these condensed reagents that somehow are able to turn people into an animal. You see at the bottom of the tub as well that there seems to be hairs of dogs at the bottom of the tub. So there seems to be powder of what you were thinking.
Okay, Varessa cleans the dog hair out of this one and calls Doggy Rufus here.
Yeah, okay.
And she pulls out his thieves' gloves. And she looks inside and she pulls out some hairs from it, from which have come off from his arm, I guess, and puts them into the water.
Yeah.
And then puts some of the reagent back in and tells him to go to sleep in there and sees if it has any effect.
I'll do what Varessa says.
Okay.
Tell him to sleep and see if it does anything.
Alright. So you sleep in the tub, and as you submerge into the tub, Doggy Rufus, you feel a lot of pain, and you start to understand why this process required you to be asleep, because your body starts to like dysmorph and shift, and you'll have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, wisdom saving throw. No.
To not
problemo.
instinctively jump out of the bar.
Okay. Wisdom. Shit. I got a 5.
So you jump out because the pain is too great.
Can I have a reaction to push him straight back in? Before as he jumps up, she just pulls him in, pushes him back in.
Yeah. You can make you can push him back in. Yeah. You push him underwater. Make a strength check. And then Rufus, you can make a strength check as well.
Oh, contested. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, 24.
I got a 16.
Okay, so you're basically just forced down back into the water, Rufus.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rest will give him a chop on the back of his neck to knock him out.
Okay.
While she puts him back in after realizing, just knocks him out. Chop.
You knock him out. Yeah, you knock him out and he passes out. And then after a process that takes maybe around 5 to 10 minutes, you see the dog stretch its form out and begin to turn back into a human that looks like Rufus. And in the pool, you just see Rufus lying in there. And it seems the process has basically been completed after 10 minutes.
Am I like floating ass up or face up?
Yeah, ass up.
Okay.
And then you begin to wake up.
Varessa just turns him over so his head's not underwater.
Yeah. You turn up and then you wake up Rufus. And you feel like yourself again.
Varessa hands him his stuff back. And then she goes, "Big D, come here, Big D, where are you?"
I go on one knee and be like, "Lady Varessa, my life is yours."
I guess I look.
The dog comes out.
Tories. I don't have anything of Tories. That's the problem.
Ruh-roh. How do you feel about playing like a dog for the rest of the campaign, then?
Oh, wait. What if we just, snap off a prisoner's finger, right? They're technically human, aren't they? And then...
Veressa just looks at the remaining Rufus hairs in the tub and decides it's close enough. Human, Humado, same thing. There's Rufus.
Yep. So there's no more hairs at the bottom of the tub.
Okay, it's been consumed.
Melted. Yeah.
Oh, wait. What if we just snap the limb of the mimic? I'm sure that'll be fine.
I don't think that's gonna work.
You said, does animal mean any creature that's living?
I don't think it's an animal.
It's like a homunculus.
Yeah.
I guess Veressa looks, because the ship. What's inside these? Is there like any possessions in here potentially?
No, there are no possessions. They're just like bathrobes, basically.
Veressa will say, "Big D, find your stuff. Seeing if it can pick up his old.
All right, make a survival check to smell for yourself.
Oh my god, okay. A survival check, 8 ways. There it is. A nat 20 plus 2.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
You're able to find that your scent leads you. You're able to smell yourself, basically, your old self, and your scent leads you down here, basically.
Wait, go down there.
Yep.
As I'll follow the doggy. Wherever. Which way is it?
Down here.
Whoa. Over here.
Okay.
As I open the door.
So as you open the doors, you reveal a bed, a chest, and it seems to be the confiscated goods chest, and some of the guard weapons as well.
Oh, that's in here. Is this the chest with the confiscated stuff?
Yeah, that's the chest.
Okay, Veressa opens it,
and you see all the items.
Is there more than Tory stuff?
Things.
Okay, just Tory stuff.
There's Tory stuff in there, and there's more. There's other confiscated goods, but none of them are really of worth. They're just like some thieves' tools, some ragged armor, nothing too much of worth.
Okay, so she grabs Tori's stuff and starts looking through it as she walks back with the bath. Until she comes across, I guess, it'd be like Tori's, armor, or where her hair would fall on it to it, right? Because she doesn't wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Her shirt or her armor or her cloak.
Yeah, there's some hairs on her, like undershirt, that you can use.
Okay. So I clear this bath of all the dog hairs, and then I will put Tori's hairs into it, and then I'll put the reagent into it, and then I'll give Rufus the nod to knock Dog Tori out.
Yeah.
And then just chuck the unconscious dog into the bath.
Okay, so you chuck the unconscious dog into the bath, and after 10 minutes. You get an unconscious Tori laying in the bath, ass up, just like Rufus.
I just subtly turn her over with no hand, like I didn't. I just turn her upright, and then I realize Rufus is there, so I block his line of sight and go to preserve her dignity a little bit.
I'll turn
Rufus
around,
is a teenager.
but no, I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit her.
Okay, and then you wake up, Tori, and it seems that you're back to normal. And all you remember is... yes, I'll make you have control.
Okay, and you probably... I take it Tori lost some stuff, right? Because there's the guards nicked a bunch of her stuff, right?
Yeah, so basically you don't have any pearl.
Okay.
Smart.
Black
And you
Pearl's
have...
gone.
And how much gold did you have?
Well, let's see. I had 711 left after I bought the Black Pearl.
Okay, so you have 500 left now.
500 left. Oh. Does that get rid of my silver also? Just 500 flat?
Yeah, just 500 flat.
No more silver. Sheesh.
No more silver.
Just assume they grabbed most of your gold, but they didn't find your hidden gold. I guess.
Yeah,
They got to the prison.
Hidden in your armor.
I guess I'll come back here and inspect this dog, and I'm guessing it's too long to change it back.
Yeah, it's basically just a dog. It's a regular dog.
Does it remember not being a dog? Can I test that? Can I ask it?
You ask it that, but it has no response that you can determine.
So even if I do give you a paw for yes, and
it doesn't seem to understand. Yeah, basically what you're saying. It just turns its head and just pants.
I'll ask Tori what we should do, considering it's a person turned into a dog. And it's now just basically a dog. I don't think it has any chance of being a person again.
Put it out of its misery. I know I would love to.
I guess Rufus could be that too. I'll just nod and say okay. Do that. If you want to.
No, I took my dagger.
You got your stuff back, by the way. I
gave my dagger.
You think you might be missing one dagger, basically, but the rest of your stuff I had, like your short sword and stuff, already passed on back.
My 68 clam meat.
68
clam meat, true? You can eat that when you're fighting.
Because I can technically see the magic aura on the parrot, so I ask if I can. Is there any chance for it to turn back, or is it stuck as a parrot? Because clearly it remembers more or something.
Right. So you ask the parrot that.
Yeah. Ask if there's a chance to turn it back or not.
The parrot says, I don't want to turn back.
I go, fair enough. And don't press it any further.
Can I keep the parrot?
The parrot says, I want to stay here.
I'll say the parrot's all yours then to him. I guess I'll go look at the cell.
But
when
food.
I'll ask Rufus to follow me, I guess then.
Okay.
You'll probably see this guy with basically, I indented his head, didn't I? That's how hard I hit him.
Yeah, true.
I got a 20. I'll say he's not dead, but he probably wishes he is.
Yeah.
I carry him to the bath and just let him drown or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Drown him in the bath or something.
I pause and then offer a bit of the reagent to him to see if he wants to turn him into a dog or not. Because that third bath still has dog hairs. You could try turning him into a dog if you want, so he can repent.
Ooh, wait, this is perfect. Hang on a second. Can I ask this parrot? Alright. I have this little froggo with me. Was it perhaps a human at one point?
The parrot goes over to the frog and smells it and says, or pecks it and says, yep, definitely wasn't a frog before. I can detect my magic anywhere.
Oh my goodness. Do you know if the frog has come by here before? And do you know its name?
It's been a while since we've turned people into frogs. Dogs are more useful.
Frogs are tasty.
Frogs taste good. Not as good as crackers. The parrot says, "It's probably a copycat."
Oh.
Someone's copying my magic.
Wow. How do I get magic like yours?
First, you have to turn yourself into a parrot. It compresses your magic. An ant would be better.
Oh, wow. Could you help me with that?
Do it yourself.
Oh,
And he begins flapping his wings.
I think I will. I take my
Okay, so Tori, you have all your stuff back now?
Hey, can I say on record that I threw this orc into the water with a bit of clam meat?
Sure.
And reagent. Does he turn into a clown?
Oh, the black pearl.
And it turns into a clown. Yeah, turns into a clown.
I'll say actually, because we'll still be here. I'll tell Rufus to see if he has a black pearl inside or not.
Do you want to do it?
You can roll with advantage. You can roll
Oh
twice.
shit! Okay.
I'm gonna see if there's a black pearl or
Flash
something.
roll to the.
It'd be a big black pearl, wouldn't it? Because like a super
Exactly,
black pearl
big guy.
inside.
Nothing. It's a bit disappointing from this guy.
So you open him up, and there is a black pearl inside.
Oh, nice.
You find a black pearl.
Does the clam die then? I think because that's what happens.
Yeah,
when you
the
split
clam
it.
just dies.
Holy.
And you get a
It's
giant
like a
black
gacha.
pearl.
Turn it back
Giant
into an
black
orc
pearl.
quickly.
Verasa just
Really
gives
big
him the clam back because it's got a bunch of clam meat in it now. He basically got his investment back on the clam meat,
Oh, nice.
and I'll just give him the black pearl then because that's his black pearl. Big.
You can keep
One.
it, my lady.
Oh, he's calling me correctly.
That's
Verasa
character
just looks
development.
in surprise at him and just nods and puts the baseball-sized black pearl away.
I got my fun making fun of these these guards. Kind of paid
guess
for
we'll-
it though.
I'll come in here and have a look
Tori,
at
you
him,
start
so-
to hear the sounds of rumbling and of yelling. And you start to hear, Tori, intruders! Intruders! There's been a break-in! You start to hear down from the hall over here, Tori. It seems that the guards are mobilizing. And they are starting to come down.
I was AFK, what's happening?
So basically, you start to hear the guards saying intruders, and they're starting to rush in through this door. They're coming down. You can hear them coming down.
I'm running towards the other team.
All right.
I guess we hear that, right? Or she tells
Yeah,
us.
you hear that. You hear that. Tori tells you guys that the guards are coming, and there's a lot of them. And you can hear dogs barking too.
I guess we'll run back through this way to get back out, because it's like the back doorway.
Yeah.
Is that where I'm
I'll
going?
follow.
Okay. Are you sure you guys don't want to say hello to the guards? Or... No?
Hey, what
You
the-
start hearing them say, "Where did they go? Where did they go? What happened to the warden?" And I'm assuming Rufus and No More, they tag along as well.
Yeah,
so when we reach here, this guy stood here, right?
This guy's still here, and he's saying, "God, I hate this job. Oh, it smells like dog. I smell like dog."
Run past him. I just ran past him.
I'm still covered up, right, with my bandana. So
you still look like a god.
Oh yeah, I still look like a god. So I just,
Yeah.
oh, I just run here and go. Oh, I don't get paid enough for this after pretending to be puffed out chasing him, and I'll just watch the rest of them run past. Like, I need a pay rise if I'm chasing people through here. I didn't sign up for this.
He's like, oh yeah. I know. I don't even believe in this bloody god tomorrow.
I said, tomorrow, just like the dogs. Like, who cares about dogs? I'll just walk out here. I said, I'm leaving too. I'm not getting in trouble for this, but I'll just walk out and I'll just chuck.
I'll leave too. And he turns around and says, like, screw this. I have to clean up dog shit all this time. I hate this. Then he says, wait, this is towards the top of the tower. How are we supposed to leave?
I'll say, isn't there a ladder out here? I heard there's like a ladder to get out. And then
that ladder? I thought we got rid of that ladder. People are falling off trying to climb it.
I said, no, the warden's too cheap. He would have paid to replace that.
True.
I guess we'll all go down the ladder outside.
All right.
As me and the other guard act like I'm friends with the other guard, but really we're just watching them leave. Like, I too can't be bothered with this job. Like, I got a dragon, I'm happy. Like, I don't want to stay here any longer.
All right. So you start to go down the ladder. I guess you guys go down the ladder.
Yep. All right.
And
the dead guy will say, "Damn, somebody didn't make it."
And the guard says, and he looks at him and he says, "Damn, I wish that was me." And you start to hear bells and ringing from the outside. There seems to be an alarm.
I'll say, "Follow me," and then we'll run to the horses. Be like, "Hey, there's horses over here," and just I guess because
there's dogs that begin to start barking, and you start to hear from the distance. You start to hear, "We've got one of their pairs. I think we can chase them down." You go, "Boys, sniff this," and the dogs start to sniff. Basically,
whose hair is that?
The hair.
And I pat my head.
Hairs that were left in the bar on the side.
Wait, are the dog hairs? The one we chucked out?
Yeah.
The dog hairs.
They're just hairs on the side or something. And they're basically the dogs. They have the scent of both Rufus and Tori.
Okay. I guess because we don't have enough horses now, do we? Because Silence has one. Yeah, we have one. If that guard comes, we're 2 horses short. If Tori comes, we're 1. But I suppose
I'll ride with you.
I'm in plate armor right now. You'll probably have to ride with No More. He's probably the. Would he be the lightest, or would Rufus be lighter?
Yeah, no. I think
No More would be the lightest.
I guess. Oh, you can ride with the Silence.
I feel like it'd be Rufus because I wear armor, no?
Oh, actually, she's probably the lightest, isn't she? The Silence.
She is.
You can just jump on the back of hers.
Okay.
Doesn't even know who Silence is. What?
She waves. She waves at you, Tori.
No. We're just the guard, I guess. We're just the guard.
I think he gave up, didn't he? He just sat next to the dead body. Was like
the guard says, "I'll distract them.
Okay.
I know they're coming for you."
Why? Why would you do this?
He says, I need to live for once in my life. I've done nothing in my life.
He's gonna fend them off.
I'll say thank you, kind stranger, but obviously I'll say thank you, fellow gods.
And he says, it's alright. I was only supposed to have 10 years of life anyway. So now...
You got cancer.
This guy's gonna run this way, right? As he runs that way, Verasta's gonna fire a firebolt back and set the tree on fire.
The guards say, wait, I've found them! They're on to the left! They're over here! And he yells at the guards and he says, they're over here! Come here! I found them! And then some of the guards start to follow him. The guards
I guess we'll start running then. As like,
we run the opposite way.
Yeah, we run. I think this way, right? Back onto the road and start going.
Onto Ziglerud. Okay.
Veressa will stay at the back in the guard armor, looking like she's chasing them. So they're not gonna. So they think I'm chasing them, and they won't launch ranged attacks at us because they'll risk hitting me.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Good buck, you!" Ooh.
Where's Rufus going? Is Rufus going with?
Oh, he's on the horse. That's the
I'm on the horse myself. Yeah.
That horse.
By yourself. Okay.
I guess Tori could sit backwards on the horse and pretend to shoot arrows at me while actually aiming at the riders behind us as well. We got the plan.
Okay, so which way did you guys want to go? Did you guys want to go the same way you came into?
The same way we came, I think. Just back towards Saltmarsh, but obviously indirectly because we don't want to just run straight there and get sandwiched. I think that village was off to the side, wasn't it? So if we go there first and then we can split up or whatever. Well, then we can ditch the disguises, and I think they've only seen. The only ones that know for sure are Tori and Rufus who can sneak you. Currently, I believe. Everybody else who's seen the rest of us is dead, except for that trader guard who's probably not going to say anything.
I think that's his own worries to think about.
Alright. So let me know if you see anything.
Yeah.
Anything
it's
at all?
It's very dark. It's foggy, dark, and...
Okay.
BRB, one second.
I see the road, the map.
Okay. So the party begins rushing down the road, and you start to hear the sounds of many a guard on horseback. You would assume there's probably quite a few. Okay, nice, I can turn this in a good way. Okay. Many a few on the back. So this is basically like a chase sequence. Alright. And you're at a crossroads. Which way?
I suggest we might split up and then meet up at maybe Veressa's home.
Is a good idea right
now? You guys remember that after that Ida said that after you guys escaped, you guys were to go directly to a certain location, a hidden location away from the main areas of Saltmarsh, basically like a dock that's not used too often. And over there, you guys will be ushered into one of the ships. But to get there, you guys will have to leave the southern areas of Saltmarsh.
Okay, well, let's go.
What direction is that?
So that will be north. You guys will have to go northwards.
Go north. Okay.
Go northwards. Okay. So you guys want to split up?
I think splitting up is probably good. One can go left and then try and meet up north. Split them up.
Split them up? Okay. I guess no more. You can go left.
I look at my hands to see which way is left. And I go left.
Guys, Glave will come with you. He will assist you. He will help you know where left and where right is. He says this way.
The goddess will guide him.
The god will guide you. Okay. And then you guys head towards the left. I'm assuming Rufus stays with Tori and Marissa.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to do a chase sequence, which will require some rolls and some stuff going on to see if you guys can get away, or if you guys get caught and then a battle will have to happen or something. But I think it's best if we do that next time. And for now, we just leave it here. So we can pick off next time you guys are escaping from the guards, and then to be able to make your way to the ship to search for Ida's husband out at sea.
Sounds swell.
Sounds good. Okay, so a quick summary of what happened. Alright. So the party was able to successfully go through with the escape plan of Tori from the high security prison. They were able to sneak in. Rufus was able to sneak in, but unfortunately was unable to elude the prisoner, the guard's attempts to turn him into a dog. So he was turned into a dog, unfortunately. But fortunately, he was saved by his employer, Veressa, and they were able to find that Tori had also been transformed into a dog as well. It seems at the prison, they take these high security prisoners and they turn them into animals as guard dogs for the guards as pets in the name of Tamara. Afterwards, after they were found, the party was able to find the warden and knock him out, and then turn him into a clam, and then open him up, and then find a black pearl. The black pearl that was lost was able to be found at the end, but it's a giant black pearl this time. So Tori retrieved back all her items, and the party had to make a getaway. Silence, one of the basically one of the hirelings of Ida, was sent to help the party escape and to facilitate the escape. And she is now riding with them and will now lead them towards the hidden ship in which they will depart for to find Ida's husband. Okay.
Okay, I'm back, by the way.
Oh, okay. No worries. So
The summary.
In summary, the summary of the summary is you guys running away now.
Veressa's at the back of the group pretending to be a guard, so Jason.
Okay. Do I stretch that out? I think it's fine. Okay, so we'll have Silence lead them then. Okay, so you guys have decided to split up, and then we'll see how things go next session. So I think next session there'll probably be combat, most likely. You guys have been able to avoid it for now, but we'll be able to see the cool combat that might arise. And Glave and No More is an interesting combination for combat, so we'll see.
So you chose to split up, I take it? Or...
So you guys like decided to split up basically, so. But the way you guys split up, I just basically did it myself. I think it was about time we had some combat. I'm pretty sure No More is itching to do combat, and so is Tori. So I think next session we'll have some combat. I was going to put some combat in this session, but I thought it would be a bit much to put combat in. It just wouldn't seem very fitting to put combat in, since this was more of a sneaking mission and everything. So yeah, the next session there should be combat within the guards, and then they can have some fun killing some stuff. Let's see. I'll be able to try out some cool music, and actually, you know what? I think next session, I'll message him right now. I think next session we'll be able to have our guest appearance, so it should be fun. Just a one-off guest appearance. Should be good. Things went pretty well for this session. I was worried actually that this would take 2 sessions to do the prison break, especially considering the prison break is impromptu. It's like very impromptu. Yeah, it's a very impromptu prison break, so if it took 2 sessions, I think it would have been dragging it out, to be honest. But I also think that maybe because it was such a big task, if it took like half a session or a bit of a session, it might not have been as fun. So I guess 1 session's not too bad. I'll have to plan out how things go. Maybe the guest appearance won't happen, but hey, I think we'll be able to pick another character or something to do stuff with. Introduced another new character, Silence. That character will definitely be with the party for a bit. So Oceanus was supposed to be one of those characters, but I decided to leave him behind because his story was a bit bland. So Silence should be a bit more interesting. There's been a few helping characters, helping NPCs like Nedeline, etc. I think Silence will be another one of those. So things should be good. Also leveling up. Considering that we haven't actually started the module yet, I don't know if I want to make them level up or not, to be honest. Probably not. But then the module's kind of short anyway. Real short. I mean, it's basically just go to the ship, go towards the ship, get on the ship, do stuff on the ship, stuff happens on the ship, come back. So it's pretty short, to be honest. There's not really much that happens. So I'll just have to decide whether or not I just make them level up earlier, but I also might extend the story a bit for the ship. No, actually, probably not. I don't think I need to extend the ship story. It's just ship stuff. So this is not. Can't really make it too much more interesting than that. But yeah, pretty full on session. I think next time I'll have to do a little bit more planning, but I say that every time. So pretty good impromptu session. Yeah. Let's see. I'd like some better music next time, and maybe some cooler mechanics as well. We'll see. I don't think that this stream has actually cut out once, which is great to see. I'm not sure, it might have cut out on Discord. Not Discord, Twitch. So I'm not too sure. And also, I don't know how the video would be looking. But It seems to be fine. Seems to be fine. Seems to be fine. Yeah, I don't think it cut out. Yeah, no, it didn't cut out. And it was a nice 4 hour session. So things were pretty good. And the next time I'll have to remember to actually get those Discord reactives set up properly. And also, shout out to you, Binary79. I've seen you a couple of times on this stream, you know, commenting. I appreciate your views. You're a mad lad. Thank you for viewing and watching the journey of one of my first full campaigns. So I appreciate that. Got a new intro as well for the D&D VODs. A new highlight intro reel. Very cool, very cool. I might shorten it down a bit though, because I think it's a little bit too long. So I might cut off the ends. Maybe some of the roleplay bits, it might be a bit boring for people, so I might cut it off at the end. But then, you don't want to say roleplay at a D&D campaign session. Don't watch your D&D campaign session, I guess. But yeah. So, this video, the cut up bit of this video, because the first 30 minutes or so is just us waiting for Kave to join. No break though, no break. Quite interesting, there's no break. So, yeah, so there'll be a bit to cut out, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. Yeah, also been a mad lad watching the VODs. Seems like someone enjoys the VODs as well. You guys are enjoying the VODs, so that means that I'll keep on trying to put more effort into editing the VODs more. There's not really much I can do, to be honest, because this is the content. It's long form content, and you know, sometimes things will be slow, and nothing much I can really do about it. It's just the content you have to expect. But I will try and edit it and make it more seamless, and I'll try to make things more exciting for just the VOD viewers in general. Yeah, I guess what I can do is just try and make the stream more high quality. So in that regards, we'll see what we can do. There's always something I can do to improve. But that is it for today. Next session, same time. I think tomorrow I want to do a study stream, but we'll have to see whether I can do that or not. If I can, it'll probably be for a few hours. I imagine it'll be for a few hours, because I got to catch up on some lectures. I still have like five or four to watch, and then tomorrow I'll have 3 more extra to watch. So, you know, but after that's done, I'll probably just try and steamroll through that. After that's done, do a study session. It should be pretty good. Have some, you know, a nice mixed variety of stuff to catch up on. And I might actually, whilst doing the study session, I might look for some more music, since that's always fun. And in fact, I might look up for some more music for D&D as a part of the study session stream. I think that'll be fun as well. Just to find some cool D&D music, you know? But yeah, that'll be it. Until next time, I'll try not to lose any more hair over this D&D campaign session. I'm actually, fun fact, I'll be on break a week from now, so I'll have some extra time to work on D&D. So I think the next session, maybe not the next session, but maybe the session after, might be a very good session. I think it'll be a very good session. I'll have some good time to plan stuff out. Plan out the future of this campaign. Yeah, I think should be good. So. Until next time.